Hello and welcome to Oracle Storytelling. Hi, I'm Sarah of Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts. This is Oracle Storytelling. If this is your first video, welcome. Quite the video for you to choose. As I said, this is Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts because I'm an artist, an intuitive artist, and you can find my work on Instagram, on Facebook, and some video links on my YouTube and also on my website, Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts. Whew. So I'm glad I waited a little later in the day to make this video because I guess in general, I've been inundated with a lot of thought, and maybe you're like me, where sometimes that can put you into a state of stillness. I notice often when I just am thinking about so many things, I'm very still, like motionless. I'm just into myself, you know. And I was thinking that I would be making a video while the moon was in Cancer. And by the time I grabbed my phone today, I noticed that it was entering into Leo. It's at 0 degrees Leo, which is maybe why I'm able to kind of push out and make this video today, to have that little bit of roar. Because on the whole, I'm feeling very Cancerian. I'm feeling very within my shell, within myself, you know, my little sovereign shell. So like I said, a lot of thought. Maybe you've had a lot of thoughts too. If you follow any astrology, you'll know that we've had some major planets changing signs. We're having planets entering new signs. We're having planets retrograde back. I think Neptune and Uranus are at anaretic degrees, meaning each sign goes 0 to 29. So anaretic degree being 29 degrees. So it's kind of like super activated. And maybe that's too why maybe my personal astrology is just I am so unbelievably inundated with things right now. So maybe that's another reason that I can that I'm going so tucked in within. But I've had a lot of things kind of percolating in my mind, which will be represented with what I talk about and the cards I've chosen today. I have the Oracle of the Mermaids. I have, what's the name of this again? Flowers of the Night Oracle. And I don't know the name of it. It's just the goddess, like the goddess deck. It's almost like if you're into any kind of, if you've ever like done any kind of goddess study, looked into goddesses, in the circle that I kind of got into that was the most focused on learning about different goddesses, this was kind of like the initiatory, like starter set. And if you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, I just thought, you know, maybe this would be like the starter set of any card, you know, like major collector cards. Well, maybe it was different. I don't know. Maybe there's like a million cards to collect now. But anyway. But the point is that the feeling that I'm really feels like generating around me, which means it's probably generating in the collective, is this submerged feeling of kind of like a mermaid pondering on a rock at the bottom of the ocean. Like I feel like there's a pause, a moment of stillness. Sometimes when we can't find our space in the world for that pause, we do kind of, we go in our shell. We go under, and we find our space. We find our space under the water. So much of the time I'm trying to keep my head above water, and kind of draw what you will from that phrase, right? But in the embracing that need for self-connection, that need for kind of that safe place to just kind of, be in your cave and be in the stillness. It is a good energy, to be submerged, to be in a place, again, like, like Ariel's little cave, like the Little Mermaid, like your own little space for your curiosity, the things that are percolating in your mind, to be free to come in and rest and have a dialogue. This is my mood. And overall, before I started filming, I realized that a theme that's really coming up for me right now is origins. It's been percolating up all day. And for me specifically, so my grandparents on my mom's side came over from Czechoslovakia, and so I've got my little Czech beads on here, just an origin thing. I've been kind of feeling in my cave, so I feel like I'm half like woman in the woods and half like trying to kind of brighten up to be on camera. But, and this isn't the brightest shade here, but I'm wearing like this Wet n Wild, I think it's like a fantasy, a little fantasy thing of eyeshadow, meaning I think it's supposed to be like more for like a party thing, or like even like a Halloween thing from their line. And then a little sugar pill gloss that has a sparkle. Might not be the easiest to see right now. Like the more you wear it, the more it sparkles. And I was even thinking about this makeup as an origin, just knowing that I heard the story about the woman who started the sugar pill makeup line. I believe her name is Amy. I can't remember her heritage. She is a woman of color other than white. And when she fell in love with makeup, the only brand that was making any kind of colors that were exciting at the time was Wet n Wild. And I remember hearing her talk about this on a podcast and saying, people like me, we wanted these fun colors. So at Halloween time, we had to buy up all like the Halloween makeup from Wet n Wild, stuff like that. And just talking about her journey into launching her makeup line, and the makeup is amazing. And just talking about this journey as a woman, and like how a lot of her access was really denied when she tried to, collaborate, work with, get help from established brands. And I'm sharing this with you because it's just another origin thing that's coming up. But basically, when she did finally find people to help her and show her and explain to her how to properly do the testing for the makeup, and actually just collaborate and be, share their wisdom. Her line like changed the game. Like she brought all these colors for all the misfits and the punks and people who were like her, who were like had to buy up the Halloween makeup. Um, the options they wanted just weren't there, right? And she brought it to the mainstream, and she brought all the kind of misfit colors out, and it's great cruelty-free makeup. I know she's a big cat lover, but she changed the game, for her and for, I listened to this on a podcast a million years ago. Um, like I think the original Trixie and Katya podcast, and they had her on, and they were just talking about this origin for her and how did she, making the mark on the market. That, I mean, if you buy makeup or if you're in drugstore and you see makeup, I mean, the shades, it used to just be, like a range of purples, a range of browns, like every color under the sun now. And that I think in very, very large part is due to this one woman who said, what about everybody who wants to express themselves other than this kind of little boxed in way, right? And I think anyone watching can relate to that aspect, to want to be able to express themselves in a very authentic way that your soul recognizes, even if we notice more how unrecognized it is or how unusual we think it is when we look out into the world. I'm in quite a mood. Okay. And since we are in the beginning of Mercury retrograde, I am hoping that this video is also doing well. I thought it slowed for a minute, so we shall see. So there was something I wanted to read, and I'm going to mention the article in the description of this video. But this just came up when I was looking up different archetypes for women, and like shadow archetypes, and just getting my mind generating ideas to do art pieces for an upcoming show. And I saw this article titled "How the Archetype of the Exiled Woman Can Help Women Return to Their Authentic Selves." And what really popped out at me was the word exiled. And you may think that's a really negative word, or like me, maybe you're like, right, got it. And words are so powerful like that, right? The right word, when it connects, it doesn't matter if it's like there's no really good or bad to it, just connects to you. The word exiled, I was like, yeah, okay, like what's this? Because it is in connection with those of us who are the black sheep, the scapegoat, the invisible child, that orphan child. And I don't have to literally mean an orphan, but you know what I'm saying. So exiled. And I want to read this because it really connected to me, and perhaps it will connect to you. I'm just going to read this part. Lately, I've been thinking extensively about the archetype of the exiled woman. In Jungian psychology, archetypes... Actually, no, I'm going to skip this part. Okay. The archetype of the exiled woman has existed in folk stories, legends, and fairy tales since time immemorial. It is the story of the girl who is banished, symbolically raped, and left for dead in a land without hope or promise. Said to bring shame to her family for her way of being, she is rejected and takes the back seat in the family more often than not. The exiled woman pays a heavy price for her unique outlook of the world. She is blamed and shamed for disgracing the family that has endured great lengths to ridicule and chastise her. To them she is too sensitive, too wild, too loud, too quiet, too liberal to this or to that. Chosen at birth as the scapegoat of her family, she is often ostracized, isolated, abused, and blamed for things she has no control over. Despite the pain and challenging path of the exiled woman, this archetype's way is purposeful and distinct. The innate nature of the exiled woman is to dance to the rhythm of her drum, sing her songs, and tell the truth about who she is. Her life's mission is to know herself profoundly and express her most authentic being through her art, ideas, and worldview. Her unique way of being and showing up in the world is her power. Her quirks and idiosyncrasies give her energy and vitality. This is so important because if you're feeling this, this is the clincher. To be cut off from this source means the death of her spirit. So perhaps you're like me and you very much connected to those words. And if you did, you've probably gone through cycles, whatever you want to call them, if they're dark nights of the soul or existential death cycles, where you did feel like when you're cut off, if you keep doing X, Y, or Z anymore, you feel like you will literally die because you're connected and plugged into things that you can feel. Like, if I keep plugging in, if I keep doing this or that, it's like death. You feel like you will just shut down and die. And I know I've had big cycles like that, that one big one I'm still in. And I know a huge part of it, in one area of my life was, if I continue doing this, I just knew, I had the strong knowing, like, I mean, I just saw myself get depressed and like, just, that was it. It was like game over. Like, all I could feel is like, I'm depressed and that's it. And I just mean like, that's all. And I'm a very visual person, but all I could like sense, see, feel was like, just, I would shut down and then it was just like fade to black. It was like, there's no way forward here, you know? I'm not necessarily referencing like suicide or anything. I'm just saying like, it just was like, there's just no way forward. That was not the way. So yeah, it'd be funny if this was your first video with me. But also like, I'm happy if you're connecting. So yeah, I read that as an origin point, because if you feel me on those things, you've been the one since childhood, right? You've known, or you know, you're the one in multiple generations. Like, you're the generational curse breaker. You're the one who gives voice to the temperature of the room. You see what's going on instead of burying it or turning your eyes. Your natural self, no matter how much healing and seeking and, you know, deep work that we have to do, we naturally lean towards not bullshitting. We naturally lean towards a state of honesty, which in itself creates our own version of peace, right? To be dishonest or to be indirect are not the healthiest states for us, you know, in terms of, you might think, well, that's not healthy for anyone, but particularly more sensitive people, who expose and stay open to the truth of situations, the truth of generational patterns of abuse that need to be broken, etc. So I'm going to draw some cards. I think I'm going to draw a starter card from this deck, throwback. If any of the Goddess Circle ladies see this, please let me know. Shout out to an old San Mateo church. I do not remember the name of it, but used to gather there once a month. Oh, good. All right, well, the card I pulled. So I'm going to spell this. It's, oh boy. Actually, I'm going to show the name. That's going to come up backwards, isn't it? All right. Tlazolteotl. Good job, Sarah. Is a Toltec Earth Mother, the goddess of carnal love and desire. Love that. Good. Let's bring in some love, some healing to us. Well, like me, if you're like me, or if you're soon to be like me, in our cave, within ourselves, within our shell, within our comfortable underwater burrow, like Ariel, within our whatever the place that we reside in and sink into ourselves, whatever that place is. So the goddess of carnal love and desire, love it. Like Kali in India, I love Kali. Jai Ma. Kali is a goddess that announced herself to me, and I've gotten a lot of guidance and a lot of love and healing working with Kali. Yeah, Jai Ma, love Kali, beautiful mother. Like Kali in India, she is portrayed as a horrible, devouring figure, yet is also honored as a moving creative principle. She is sometimes pictured as four sisters, the four ages of women. Well, it's interesting, right? Because we always think mother, maid, and crone, and by we, I mean me, who are present at the crossroads of life. Very Hecate energy. This Toltec Earth Mother is best known as the Eater of Impurities. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. I love this. Eater of Impurities. Once in a lifetime, a person confessed her worst deeds and sins to her, holding nothing back. In return, the confessor received absolution. No impurity or defilement was too great to be forgiven. So this goddess is the deep part of ourselves that we fear because it is so powerful and yet unfamiliar. Yet we touch her through her fearsome countenance. Yet when we touch her through her fearsome countenance, we find absolute mercy. She is proof that anything that can overwhelm and destroy us also has the power to heal and grant forgiveness. And for the aspect of truth-telling, okay, I was talking about if you're like me, you're the scapegoat, you're the black sheep, you're the truth teller, you're the one that was always told to be quiet, you're the one that was always called a liar, amongst many other things. You're the one that was taught what abuse is. There's like, let's give you these lessons. So the importance of speaking your truth and being authentic to yourself comes through in a myriad of ways. It's a seeker journey. It's a place to find deep wisdom and deep healing and have your mind blown by some of the crazy shit that was so close to your face. You couldn't see it until you saw it. But I like this idea of the confessing your deeds and sins, because a lot of the time, I think sensitive people are holding on to, sins. Our sins are kind of like memories of really hard things, like really overwhelming or abusive things and traumas we've been through. And a lot of times we hold on to them, meaning like we hold them up, like we hold everything else up, right? It's that hyper independence thing, right? Like we don't ask for help. We're holding these things, and we just keep holding and 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 holding these things. So I like the idea of expressing them, and maybe expressing them could take the form of something like asking for help, saying, I need help. Maybe you're in your little, maybe you don't go in your own little cave, or you're not a mermaid in water. Maybe you're in a little bubble and you float in the clouds and you think of, you're into yourself and in your own body and in your own mind. And you come out, you go, pop, and you pop your little bubble. And as you've been thinking about all the stuff on your mind, within your own little circle of the world and out in the world, whatever it might be, maybe out of this time within, you do think, shit, I really need some fucking help with this, that, the other. And maybe what comes out of this confession is actually starting to either, finding help, getting help, or starting to navigate and understand, where am I going for help? Do I get help when I go there? Do I never get help when I go there? Wait a minute. When I get help here, or maybe it's like, well, I can get help from this person, but if I get help from this person, do I end up helping them more? Is this just one more person I help? So am I really going there for help, or am I just back, just adding one more thing to carry, Whew. All right. Let's get like two words for the flowers of the night oracle. Let's see. Okay, we're within ourselves. We're gaining, essentially gaining clarity, if we can put voice to like our confession of like, whether we're voicing a need, whatever it may be. So we put our voice out there, and then what else is percolating up that is just time to rise up? Okay, I got 2 cards. Perfect. Affinity and strength. No. I'm going to pull these up. Affinity and strength. Right, quickly. Oh, this is great. Of course, this just builds on what we're talking about. So, affinity, knowing what truly aligns with you is vital at present. Okay, so this going within, and then we're making this confession to others, to the universe, to ourselves. So knowing what truly aligns with you is vital at present. A softening of aggression and calming of emotions is indicated by the night flocks. So that's the, it's the flowers of the night oracle. So those are the flowers. So a softening of aggression and calming of emotions is indicated by the night flocks. Tensions will ease and peace should prevail, but be prepared to do the work to make this happen. Okay, this is just building on what we're talking about. Yeah, do the work, go within, sit within yourself, see what comes out, see what your needs are, express these needs in the ways that you feel are best aligned with you. And if you see that, if you realize, oh shit, that's not really best for me, and this person isn't right, or this pattern isn't that good, then you find that out and express that to yourself. A lot of the times when we put voice to things, right? Literal voice to something, our nervous system starts to calm, right? Or I know, think about the last time you talked to a friend and you mentioned something and you realize as you're saying it, how much you need to say this to somebody, right? I did that recently and I was like, wow, I really needed to say this. I really needed to say this out loud. Oh my God. You know that feeling. Someone who is near, who offers companionship, a relationship, or even an opportunity that is deeper on all levels. Be prepared to give a lot more than you think you might be ready for if you wish to pursue the relationship. So I'll end on that note just to say, if you are in a situation where you feel overwhelmed and you're just giving, and maybe you do run into someone and it is like, ooh, just the idea of kind of check in with yourself and make sure, how much am I carrying? You know, it's kind of like, imagine you just keep ordering off Amazon over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and you just have boxes stacked up, but you're not unpacking them. You can't remember what's in some of these boxes, right? It's just the weight of things packing up or stacking up on you. Or maybe you're like, oh, it's this next thing, you're always running off. And imagine if you were just jumping on a plane, you kept going vacation, 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 and every time you came back, you just left your bags packed and then like got new luggage. So, which is to say, before you make, if you are feeling this stacking, if you are feeling like you really haven't checked in with your life, with your luggage, with what you've been ordering and bringing in lately, make sure that you prioritize that, right? Knowing that if something wonderful is coming in, we want to make room for that. But it can be overwhelming, right? And if you are a sensitive person, and if you're like, and you just like, you're a little love bug. Oh, that card. That's right. This was the goddess of carnal love and desire. Okay. Crap. Okay. Listen. We got carnal love and desire. And if there is this love relationship, the idea of be prepared to give more than you thought you would. So this could be a very consuming relationship. It's so fun because in my mind, I literally thought, set a watch, like, like just be mindful of how much time in general you're spending with someone new. And perhaps, and it's easy to lose track of kind of the course of relationships. Maybe if you are very lovey, so maybe these are little side notes, like as you're expressing yourself and getting your needs out there, for yourself to know, for the universe, for others to know. I mean, if you're gonna get kind of sucked in and lost in a love relationship, make sure you are expressing your needs as they come up. How about that? This was not what I thought it was going to be. Okay. Oh, in strength. Here we have another one. Strength. Alrighty. The Rose of Mexico. You really do have what it takes, and you know the answers are within you. All right. This is like the same message, just coming over and over. I love it. Let me just read that again. You really do have what it takes, and you know that the answers are within you. So it's just to say, yeah, the answers are within you. They're within. And if you are like any of the descriptions that I've been mentioning during this video, you go within. We have our tools and our methods, but just being in the stillness, a place where you are in your stillness, whether it's just in your mind or I don't know, maybe I'm the last person who journals. I love to journal. You're writing it out. You're getting it out in some way, with words, the need to really vocalize your needs. Rose of Mexico flower reminds us to be strong, but also that we are strong. And that feels different, right, in the body. When somebody's like, you're strong, like, or somebody says, be strong, you need to be strong. I mean, that immediately makes me want to go to sleep and shut down and be like, fuck you. Please don't. But if somebody says, reminds me that I am strong, that hits differently. And I usually hear that from my closest friends. Like, you are strong. Somebody says, you need to be strong. I also want to punch them in the face. It's just, it hits different. Words are important. In a certain situation, I'm generalizing, but in a certain situation, the right person or what have you, right combination, I could feel differently. But generally speaking, go fuck yourself. If you're like, you need to be strong, don't tell me what to be. And fuck you. I am strong, but don't tell me where and how to use my strength. Just me? No. Nobody else pushes back, I'm sure. Challenges may be upon you or others at present, but they are all part of the bigger scheme, and one you will be tested by, but will overcome. Keep the faith with what it is that you are working. Sorry, I just jumped. Keep the faith with what it is you are working with at present. Okay. So it does express, yeah, you're going through challenges. And just a reminder, yeah, keep the faith in yourself. Confidence and the ability to remain calm are also indicated by this flower. But make sure you are playing your part to fully achieve what it is you desire. Okay. So confidence and the ability to remain calm, that's good, right? I feel like I really don't get shaken that easily. Maybe you're also like me. You've just been through so much that it takes a lot. I think the normal things that rattle the general public don't seem, and I'm not talking about like the horror show we see on the news every day. There's a lot of things that just don't, I don't panic. I don't panic at the first sight of something or the first message of something. I don't. If I'm directly under threat, then yeah, I will then I'll panic strategize something if I need to. Right, my adrenaline goes up. But in general, I keep the faith. I keep the faith in myself. I keep the faith in the universe that things will, in divine love, divine timing. Okay. All right, and last card from the Oracle of the Mermaids, because, I mean, come on, aren't we just like, as I talk about the Oracle of the Mermaids, I was jumping because I just realized the house next door has like a plumbing truck parked next to it. And I just realized it's like slamming all its doors shut right now. So let's see. Yeah, I guess just we just need a card to build on. Where are we going? Where are we flowing? Where are we? A card for dry land? There are 2 cards, so let's pick one. What's flowing? Well, it's really hitting my throat, so I'm going to choose this card. Perfect. Okay. And to complete the message that we've just been building on this whole time, this is Sanctuary. So just as we began our story, the exiled child, the scapegoat in the family, the one that was told to go away, through wandering through our little wilderness and through our oceans and our immense healing journeys, or whatever you want to call them, our lifetime thus far, we come to this place where we are going into ourself, into our sovereign world, into our mind, our body, into the stillness, the space where you can find it, whatever that is for you, into our sanctuary. And here is the mermaid in the bathtub. Yes, even the mermaid says, listen, I love this ocean. Y'all are great. Love the fam. Love the fish. Don't really like any of these fucking boats. But anyway, that one diver was cool that one time. I just can't like do the whole open door policy in the ocean right now. I'm gonna find a tub. So this is just really stressing this point that if any of this is vibing with you, probably all of it is, you need to find a place for stillness, to go within, to be with yourself, to hear your needs. And one big need that's underlined in everything is a place of sanctuary. This sanctuary. Whatever that looks like for you. And I'm speaking to you as someone whose life, for as far as I can remember, has been filled with so much non-sanctuary. I've always had to seek out and create sanctuary. Okay. So if you're around overwhelm or stress or trauma or abuse, you got to find your sanctuary. You have to find a space, a place to hear yourself, to go within. And it can be done. And if I'm talking to you, if this connects, then you've made these places. I have had to do it a million times over, and these places are vital. Even the freaking mermaid gets out of the ocean. I don't know if she's like, hey, can I house it? I mean, whatever the deal is for her. I don't know, like, how mermaids acquire. I don't think they're going to a hotel. I think it's like more private because they're a mermaid. But sanctuary, privacy, inviolate personal space, respected boundaries, and taboos. I mean, look at this badass. She's pretty cool. I'm going to read a little about this, and then we're going to close. And the number is 28, if anyone is feeling that number. And I open right to it. Lovely. I love that. The mer world has many beings, and one of the most secretive and elusive is and are the powerful Merlucians. The mother of all Merlucians, a twin-tailed mer being, part woman, part dragon, for my dragon folk who see this, part mer, part fae, and she is here to remind you all that there are times when you need to declare to the world, this is my time. And this is my space. For you, much time has been given to others, to caring for them, looking over them, to watching for them, to loving them, bandaging them, soothing them, satisfying them, feeding them, and now is your time. Are you resonating with this? Let's see. So you have a right to be unviolated, to have a right to an unviolated time out, time alone, during which you can be free to look, be, sound, dream, and swim as you wish. And that is just the message that keeps doubling down and doubling down, which is obviously so important. And maybe somebody needs to hear the phrasing of, you have the right to do this. Time where it's just unviolated time by yourself. And I'm not saying you have to like house it. You have to be in a space where you can just find a corner of whatever, inside, outside a place where you live, and make that your sanctuary. I don't know. I'm doing that now for a video. It can be done in the midst of chaos and all kinds of crazy fucked up shit. What other message do I want to give you from this? Okay, so if you feel like you need to voice this, like you need to set this boundary, the question is, will you ask for this? Will you take this when it is given? And will you declare these boundaries to be sacred? So boundaries, just as a reminder, are things that you set and you hold. It's not other people's responsibility. That's not it, because it's what's best for you. It's not what's best for other people. Okay. Are you willing to declare these boundaries as sacred? And many cultures, men and women, individuals and genders, have sacred space that is theirs alone, and it is a great taboo for others to enter into that space. This is your time, and may this taboo, this sacred space, because you might feel like guilt or shame, or just that you're not allowed, or you're just scared. You're scared of doing something like this. It scares the shit out of you, maybe. The sacred space, be held in awe and reverence by all who claim to love you, and that by doing so they will show you that they do indeed love the entirety and multitudes of you, and support and uphold your freedom to be your own self. And that might be a huge part of it, is getting to a place where you know that it's not just your worth is there to have this space. It is a vital necessity for you. And if you set boundaries of just time and space for yourself, whenever it comes up, just knowing that the people who can love and respect that will love and respect it. And those that have patterns of not loving and respecting you will likely fail at this. And those that can evolve and grow and learn quickly to do so can evolve and grow and stay within your life. But regardless of the ebbs and flows in other people's lives and other people's view of you, the boundary you set for your sanctuary time, for the time of stillness and going within, and then being able to voice to yourself, the world, and others your needs, all starts with the stillness. And it's just this cycle. You take the time to be still in the place that makes that is your place to do so. You go within your mind with your body. And when you come out, you have a little more clarity around what you need. You voice that need to yourself and to others that need to hear it. And that, by the way, is just like this. So it starts this cycle of voicing your boundaries. And maybe you've never thought about needs as part of boundaries, but it is. But it really is, because if you're constantly around other people who don't see your needs as anything to do with them, there's no importance, it doesn't affect their well-being at all, if your well-being is not good, these are things that you really need to look at and understand the intentions and reasons for why and how your relationship is going to, why your relationship would move forward. If this is how the pattern is your needs, your boundaries are not seen or respected or thought of as, like if your well-being doesn't matter to the people that are around you, especially the closer and closer relationships, if your well-being doesn't matter to them, if that doesn't seem to affect them, that's gonna really send a message to you on so many levels in terms of it'll start potentially to blur your needs. Are those really needs? If the reflection around you is those really don't look like needs to me because I don't care about them, it's going to blur boundaries. It's going to establish probably it's going to blur your feelings of feeling safe, and it's probably going to limit how you feel about having that time and stillness for yourself, right? But if you're around people who go, oh my God, like if you're around people who, when you have a cold, let's say, is something like that, they're like, oh my God, like, can I go pick up something for you? Or like, can I make you some tea? It's because your well-being, they feel like your wellness matters, right? Or if you're going through something, or they want to know if you're going through something, they want to know how you are, not as just some kind of just vocalization exercise, but because they care. They care, and your well-being and you doing well matters to them. And it's like an extension, you know, if you're a sensitive person, it's like, you know, the people that we love, they're extensions of our heart, and their well-being matters to us. And wouldn't it be beautiful if all the people around us had that similar feeling? I think that's a real thing. I think we can do it. So for all that shared this video with me, thank you for being along with me today, tonight, whatever time it is, whenever you see this. And yeah, I hope that speaking from my heart and being in the space, the emotional, energetic space I'm in, reached you in a meaningful way. Please, I encourage you to take your space in the stillness, wherever you may find it, to voice your needs, to know that boundaries are sacred and that your needs are sacred. And as always, you are always worthy, innately worthy. Being in stillness and sitting, you have worth. It is nothing you have to earn. It's nothing you have to fight for or prove. You have innate worth. And just know that you are loved always. And until next time.